Imagine if Claude Code wasn't just one assistant, but an entire team, 20, 30, or even 50 agents working in parallel, shipping features while you watch. This is Gastown. It's not chat with an AI, it's a factory. It decomposes features, assigns parallel workers, merges code automatically, persists everything in Git, and keeps running even if it crashes. This could 10x your output or just cause things to go south. Let's get into the setup and how this all actually works. Now, Gastown is an open source orchestrator that turns AI coding agents into something closer to Kubernetes for dev workflows. First thing, Gastown is not an AI model, okay? It's just an orchestrator. It sits on top of tools like Claude Code and turns them into coordinated multi-agent systems. You give a high-level goal to what they call the mayor, and the mayor breaks that goal into structured task units called beads. Beads then get grouped into what they're referring to as convoys, and then the worker agents called Polecats execute them in parallel. Now, this is huge for a few reasons. Everything runs through Git, every agent works on branches, merges queues, state is persisted, so if it crashes, you don't need to start all over again. Now, compare that to a normal vibe coding, right? Just AI coding in general. We have one session, linear execution, context drift, manual orchestration. It's kind of a mess. Gastown is basically horizontal scaling for cognition. And that's a big deal. But the real question is, does this actually work? If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to subscribe. We have videos coming out all the time. Now let's get in, fire it up, and do some tests. All right, so I've got a simple to-do app running. I found a super simple Go-based one on GitHub. I chose Go because Gastown is actually mainly written in Go, but really there's no difference in the project you choose. It'll still execute like normal. Now this project, this to-do app, there's no auth, it's just a basic CRUD application. And if you've ever added auth into an existing app, you already know the pain of breaking things. It's never just add login, it's database changes, routes, middleware, forms, tests, Docker, everything. And when you're building these apps, everything is touching everything. The challenge we are testing is, can Gastown do that without me micromanaging it? Now, honestly, the setup here was kind of a pain. I needed to brew install a lot of larger packages. I had to get everything in order, and getting it running once it was even installed took some troubleshooting. It took some time. But once I managed to sync everything, it does run really well. Now that it's running, I attach the mayor and I give it one prompt. I'm going to say something like add JWT auth, use SQLite, it's basic, create login and register endpoints, protect routes, add HTML forms, write tests, add a Docker file. That's it. That's a lot of stuff though, right? All these things going on. No step-by-step prompting, and let's watch what actually happens here. The mayor now decomposes these features automatically. Database schema, middleware, auth endpoints, front-end forms, tests, those become separate beads. And remember, a bead is kind of like one of these workers. And now look, all these polecats are now swarming. One agent creates the SQLite schema, one's going to write the JWT middleware, one builds login and register routes, another updates the UI forms, and then one writes integration tests, our Docker. All this is happening at the same time. And here's really the big contrast. If you were using Claude Code alone, you would do this sequentially. You'd prompt, wait, fix, reprompt, re-explain context over and over again, right? That's kind of how these code agents work. But here, Git branches isolate the work, merges are queued, state is tracked. So instead of you holding the whole plan in your head, the system actually holds it. And if this crashes halfway through, that's okay, actually. You resume from persistent state at a later point automatically. Now, the moment of truth here. I forked this into a repo, so now I want to go through and look at all the changes it made and added right here just on my GitHub. We can see all the old code, but then everything else here was edited. So register, login, token issued, protected root works, tests pass, all this stuff. This is what was added in through Gastown. That entire feature decomposed and implemented in just a few minutes. And that's the point. The difference isn't just speed. It's cognitive offloading. We are no longer managing every little AI step, but that doesn't mean it's automatically a win, because running this could be another story. Now let me run this real quick. Let's kind of see what we get and what we're working with here. So I mean, all in all, this is what it looks like. It's not too bad, super basic app, and you can see that I can log in here, create an account. The to-do list still functions. It didn't really change anything with that. It added our roots, the Docker files, all that extra stuff with JWT authentication. So it did really good here. On a larger scale app, I would love to see how this run, but this really ate through a lot of my tokens. Speaking of that, all right, now let's talk the trade-offs. So pros and cons, right? First, the pros. Scalability, right? This was really cool. You can have 20 to 30 agents working at the same time. That means massive output on big features, the kind where one person gets buried in tasks and interdependencies. Second, another really cool feature here is the Git persistence. No more fragile AI sessions where everything vanishes if something crashes and we have to pick back up, right? Those are really, really cool things. But now the cons here, because this is where people get surprised. I was also surprised at some of these things, but they make sense. Oversight fatigue, because yeah, the system is producing a ton, but you're also now reviewing a ton. It can be super productive, but it's also going to be super draining. Then we have the cost. Heavy usage can get expensive fast. We're not just running one agent, we're running all these agents in parallel. I'll let you do the math on that. Agents can still conflict, they can over-engineer, they can absolutely wreck your repo because it's giving them full reins on everything. This isn't just plug and play, which leads to the real question. Would you actually want to live like this, using something like this in your workflow, or is it almost too much? Yes, you can choose other providers too, though the choice is yours. Claude, OpenAI, okay. So yeah, this is an early stage tool, but it's pointing towards something so much bigger because the direction is clear that this isn't AI helps you code. This is AI changes the workflow with all these agents running in parallel. So Gastown represents this shift from AI assistant to lots of agents now working together. This changes our leverage because now you can orchestrate backend, front-end, tests, docs, and infrastructure all at the same time. This could make you dramatically more productive, or it could redefine what development even means. The question isn't whether multi-agent systems are coming, they're here, right? This is an example of that. The question now becomes, are you going to experiment with it now or later? Because who knows, they're coming. Subscribe for more tools and tips into tools reshaping dev workflows. We'll see you in another video.